1950s. Now, I recently was sorting through a box that had an assortment of items that were all free at sale. There was this silver-colored cardboard box with a lovely red rose and these charming little sweet-faced cherubs painting the rose. So really just a very nostalgic image. Now, greeting cards, well, it was an all-occasion assortment, and the end of the box reads, Silver Sheen All Occasion. Now, I figured that the original cards were not inside. After all, it had the appearance of being late 1940s, 1950s, and I have found boxes before, but empty, or filled with bric-a-brac. But, to my delight, not only were the cards and envelopes there, but they were in quite good condition. There are 12, all, as I said, in quite good condition, and the artwork is nostalgic and really lovely. The coloring is so typical of the late 1940s, and it was different than, I'm sure you can tell, the coloring was different back then, the way they produced these. So, anyways, each card has a related illustration inside, which is pretty cool too. So, sit back and relax. I'm going to show you these cards, and then at the end I'm going to tell you some personal memories of mine about greeting cards that hopefully you'll enjoy. So I'll be back with you in just a hot minute. Okay, so what do you think? Pretty cool, huh? I think they are. Greeting cards have a special place in my boyhood memories. See, I was an industrious kid at 12 or 13. And Dad and Mom gave me an allowance, but I wanted more. And I knew if I wanted more, I was going to have to work for it because they were generous, but they could only afford so much. Money was tight. Dad was laid off work because he was quite ill. And so, I knew that I had to pick up the slack for myself if I wanted more money, which was fine. So in the spring, summer, and fall, I took care of lawns for 8 people, and even back then, the late 1960s, lawn care paid pretty good, even for a kid. So during the school year, then to earn extra money, my dad, mom, and I made suckers from a hard Christmas candy recipe that she had, and they sold like hotcakes until the school stopped me because I was out selling the snacks that they were selling at the school. But I needed something that would help me make money during the winter. And the comic books that I bought back then, and I collected them. I had a couple thousand, which I wish I still had today. But they always had an ad in them featuring ways to make money. So how many of you remember the Grit newspaper? I sold that for a short while, but it really didn't pay much. And then I sent in a coupon from the back of a Batman comic book for a greeting card sales kit. Bingo! That was the ticket, especially as Christmas time approached, though I did sell greeting cards all year long. Now, the assortment was really nice that was sent to me. The samples came in a large scrapbook to show people. And selling was done door to door, which was a lot more safe back then than it would be today. I'd never send a kid out today selling door to door by himself and going into strangers' houses. But I had some really awesome repeat customers. There was a few that stand out. Mr. and Mrs. Peter Willocks. They always bought personalized cards. They were a bit more pricey, but Mr. Willocks owned an advertising agency in Saginaw. They lived in Bridgeport, as did I. And so he wanted to send really nice cards out. And so he chose for my selection to purchase. And they always purchased quite a lot. And then there was a charming elderly lady that I'd known for quite a while, whose name was Ella Preeter, and I cut her lawn, and her husband was deceased, and her money was tight, but she always bought cards when I came around, and treated me to cookies, fresh cookies and milk, while I was waiting for her to look through and make her decisions. And she was a lovely lady. And then another elderly lady, Edna Kennedy, bought cards also. She knew how much I loved history too, and she enjoyed the weekly historical articles that I did for the newspaper back then, the Bridgeport Future. And she oftentimes, as she was going through the cards, she would stop and she would give me wonderful family heirlooms that were from the Civil War era. And later I donated them to the Bridgeport Historical Society, which I had started when I was 12 or 13. But I was kicked out of it because of my age, and they didn't feel that a person my age should be in there trying to help run an organization like that. But I was good enough to go to the township meetings and things to start it. So anyways, that's a sore spot with me. But there were many more customers, and each was special in their very own way. And for 13 years old in the late 1960s, I made a pretty good chunk of change, which helped to finance the various hobbies that I had at the time. Well, look, I thank you for stopping by and watching. I hope maybe that it brought back some memories for you. I hope you enjoyed looking at the cards. God bless you, each and every one of you. I love each and every one of you, and look forward to getting together with you again to show you some of the interesting things in my collection. God bless. Love you much. See you soon.